Hello everyone, Thursday, December 6, 2018. Of course, yesterday was New Comic Book Day, which means right now today is New Comic Book Video time. It was a very, very large week for books, so I'm going to jump right into them. First one up, Walking Dead 186. Have not enjoyed the show this season. It seems to kind of be dragging along. I want to see zombies fight and not so much of a personal storyline. I think they've gotten away from what made that show successful, which I think is some really good zombie action. So hopefully they'll get back to it when the show re-ups after the first of the year. Next up, from Image, a book that I'm enjoying. This is Unnatural number 5. Kind of the sexy cover right there. If you read the book, it's a really good story. In my opinion, it's a really good story. So if you're reading this, I'd like to know your opinion on that. Also from Image, they've been coming out with some really good stories. This is one of their newer books that came out this week. This is Prodigy number 1. It is the season, Christmas season, so you're going to start seeing some really cool Christmas covers. This particular past week was no different. So the first one, Deadpool number 7. Getting ready to do a little hack slash on Santa right there. Hot Lunch Special number 4. Batman number 60. Spider-Man Deadpool number 43. Another new one this week from Image. This is The Freeze number 1. Sorry about the glare right there. Black cover. Deathstroke 38B cover. DC has been putting out the nice covers. We've talked about this pretty much every week, but the amount of cool covers that are coming out every week has kind of slipped. When they first started doing these B covers, it seemed like every title had a really, really nice looking B cover. Now I can look at the different B covers, and there's only a few that I really like. So, it's kind of disappointing, but you're still getting some pretty good covers right there. And again, there's nothing wrong with buying books because of the cover art. Justice League number 13, Legion of Doom, written over it. Of course, the Joker. Anything Joker related, I am going to buy, obviously. Sticking with the Christmas theme that we had discussed. First one up, B cover, Harley Quinn 55. Cho cover. And could be possibly the cover of the week to me because I do love Christmas and I like Christmas themed items. So this was Harley Quinn 55. This was the regular issue. The regular issue, excuse me, right there. And I had a conversation with somebody as it relates to Christmas movies and told him that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. In my opinion, he said, no, it's not. Yes, it is. If you look at it, Christmas theme, Christmas parties, that's a Christmas movie. Just because there's no snow because we're in LA doesn't mean it's not a Christmas movie. So Die Hard is a Christmas movie in my opinion, so I watch it every December because of that. And then if you want a slasher type Christmas movie, there was one that was done in the 80s called Silent Night, Deadly Night. If you haven't seen that movie, look it up and take a look. I think you'll enjoy it. Getting back to the books, Martian Manhunter number 1, I chose the B cover. There were 3 covers for this book. There was a blank, a regular, and a B. This is the one I grabbed. Shazam number 1, of course, with the movie coming out and the hype for the movie, although the previews do look pretty good and I am excited to see the movie. This came out with a $5 price point. Was not happy about that. There's nothing special about this book except it's a number 1. It's not overly thick. So I think, honestly, DC dropped the ball on this. When you're charging too much for the book, don't get caught up in that big price. Doomsday Clock. This is Doomsday Clock number 8. There's only 4 more issues left. Now, the thing I had, here's the book. The thing that's hurting this book is it's a really good storyline, in my opinion, but it's taking forever between issues, and that ultimately is hurting the book to collectors that I have spoken to, and that's not good because, again, it is a really good storyline, and I believe that issue number 9, which will be the next issue, is the Harley Quinn cover, and that was a really cool looking cover, so I am looking forward to seeing that. Doomsday number 8. Batman 60D cover. Told you I do like the way they're drawing the penguin right there. Really nice. Venom number 9. Red Hood and the Outlaws 29 B cover. Right there. Batgirl's looking really good right there, the way they drew it. Just a really nice kind of subtle cover. New from Image. This is Die number 1. There was 2 covers. This is the first cover I picked up. And the second cover. As always, I have not had a chance to read any of these books. Junior High Horrors number 1. Now this has Michael Myers on it. You know I am a huge Michael Myers fan, obviously, because I have the tattoo on my arm. Jason. This is kind of a really fun book where they're in junior high school. The thing that makes these books good to me is not only because I am a collector of that genre, but a lot of people don't know this. A lot of these issues, a lot of these first prints they're coming out with, and the number 1s are super limited. This one here is limited to 600 copies. And that ultimately might not be today, might not be next year, but ultimately these books are going to be harder and harder to find because of the limited quantity, and you're going to be able to get a good price on the secondary market if that's what you're into it for. Because a lot of people are speculating on certain books. This only has 600 covers. So in today's day and age, that is absolutely nothing. Speaking of the hot book, Rags number 1 second print came out. This book is already selling in the $20 to $35 range, and it just came out yesterday. Of course, number 1 came out a while back. I showed it on my videos. I got some people who sent me things saying, oh, nothing from a little company like that's really going to be popular. This book is blowing off the shelves. And they have a number 3 unicorn variant coming out where our hero is in a unicorn outfit fighting zombies. There's a slam dunk right there. These are selling out. These are selling out from the publisher when they're getting released. That's why the prices are going so much. And also, a lot of shops didn't order this. This is a real hard book to find. It sold out real quick here in the Valley, and I was lucky to get a couple of copies. So, Rag second print. If you have an opportunity to grab some copies of this book, grab them, put them away, because they're super, super limited. And that's what we picked up for new books today. And speaking of limited books, a few weeks ago I showed a copy. Image came out with a book called Dead Rabbit. And I enjoyed the first issue. I think I stated that in a past video. But the problem we're having is that they had to stop publication of the book because a company back east, I believe it's a bar, does a small publication that they call Dead Rabbit. They had the, what's the word I'm looking for? They had the first right of the name Dead Rabbit. And so they made the company stop. They were taking them to court. The court ruled in favor of that, and they had to stop doing the book. Now, the storyline was really, really good. The artwork was good. And so you know they're going to come out with the book in a different name and a different format because it was selling really, really well. But it's selling really, really well now because of the fact that the comic book stores had to send the books back to the publisher because they weren't supposed to have them. Now, I understand a lot of shops don't do that. And the book really hasn't taken off yet, the original issues, but you still can get them in the $4 to $8 range online. Pick up a couple because I have a feeling this book is just going to continue to go up slowly, and before you know it, these first prints of the original Dead Rabbit format is going to be probably in the $25, $30 range. If it gets picked up for a TV show, it's going to be even that much more difficult to find. So if you have a chance to pick them up, pick up a couple for yourself. Finally, we're going to kind of get off of the comic book thing, and today, of course, being December 7th, December 6th, tomorrow, obviously, is December 7th, and if you know anything about history, you'll understand that tomorrow is the 77th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, which basically took us into World War II. And recently, we lost one of our last few remaining survivors of the Pearl Harbor attack, and it got me to thinking, is how much do we actually appreciate veterans, especially back World War II, Korea, Vietnam, who sacrificed their lives or sacrificed their mental health in order to give you and I the freedoms that we enjoy to be able to watch television, buy comic books, watch videos on YouTube, or just do pretty much have all of our freedoms to do the things that a lot of countries don't have. But like the old saying says, freedom isn't free. Someone has to pay a cost. There are families who sacrifice their loved ones so we can have that. Now, I served in the military. My son served overseas a couple of tours. So I'm very thankful for what I have. I'm sure you're thankful for what you have. So if you're ever down the street and you see someone with a World War II veteran's hat on, give them a good firm handshake. Tell them you appreciate what they did. I know I did. I had family that served in World War II. They're all gone now. But a lot of people don't get credit. So when you're thinking about how bad it is, or you're thinking about how much you enjoy doing things and having the freedoms to do things, thank a vet, because they're the reasons you have that freedom. For those of you out there who did serve, thank you for your service. But if you haven't served, thank somebody who did, because they deserve it. So I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great, great day. And don't forget to reminisce tomorrow, have remembrance tomorrow for that day.